Trouble and Mercer. And while we get into things on the in the post-game lobby, I need to ask Vetheo, why are you giggling? Share it with the class, please.
I asked him a question. I said, we're still talking about FLICKR. I was like, is FLICKR funny? Is he a funny guy?
Yeah, I said I think my teammates are really funny, and I said that I think I've heard some stuff inside this team that I've never heard before. And sometimes you just can't focus, but it's fine.
FLICKR does seem like he says some wild things. He is a funny guy.
It's an education.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say that FLICKR is the only one, and yeah, that's the only thing I can say.
We saw Jankos and FLICKR having a bit of banter yesterday. They were like, FLICKR was calling him old, Jankos was saying he had to carry him all the time and micromanage him. So it seems like the banter in the team is going really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have already some memes about some Kazakhs being like 0 KP in like 30 minutes, but just like coming in review and saying like, guys, I should call this game perfectly. so it's everything.
Classic junglers do nothing and then come into the review with their balls out, just dictating everything.
That's your playstyle, right?
Yeah, of course. Every jungler.
Tell me, you were saying to Caedrel as well, Vetheo, that you feel like you've never progressed so quickly with a team before. But now I'm wondering if that's a case of what's happening in comms on the joking meme side as well as actually on the Rift as well.
I mean, I think it's the first time I joined a team in the middle of the year, right? Because I stayed 2 years with Misfits and then I joined Excel for the new year. But right now I'm joining like between spring and summer, so it's kind of new for me. But I will say that I think we improve a lot between our first and last scrim. Even though, okay, our first and before last scrim, because last scrim we don't talk about it.
And then, was the happy little 0-5?
You haven't spoken about it, but this is a safe space.
I would say
what happened in the last scrim?
A quick 0-6 into 3-0 weekend, so it's all that matters.
Losing scrims, win on stage. It's the age-old classic.
Exactly. Maybe it was a good omen. It was a good sign.
Yeah. Well, I've had a week where I went like 3-24 on scrims, and then we won the weekend. So I can tell you that's not that bad.
Yeah, and it was
my
never
match
your
history
fault
was red.
until you won.
Exactly.
And then it was all you.
That's junglers, baby.
All you, which is why you're on the sofa right now.
Well, yeah, just catching L's and strays.
Yeah, let's talk about the game that we just witnessed. I mean, obviously, it all came down to that last fight where your damage went absolutely through the roof. Hopefully we can actually watch it. Trouble was saying in the green room, it's all about that bot lane inhibitor. We've seen so many games turn around in that position on the map. Notably, obviously, Caps doing his 4v5 Nico thing yesterday. Tell us what's happening here, though, Vetheo.
I mean, I think like my job right now is just like landing some W's, right? And then at one point, I will just like, I have Zonia, so I can just go. But I feel like I don't need to use it because I just one-shot them. But I think it's like we made a good call that if they hit bot tower, we will like just go on them because we felt like we're stronger. I think we lost a really bad fight on mid that should not have happened. Like we engaged when I was like catching bot, and then we just like gave up like Drake and then Nash. It was pretty hard, but I think at any point we were like stronger in fights, or at least that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then my champ just spiked so much at 3 items, and then like fights like this are just so good for me.
Because talk to me about Kai'Sa then with Static Shift. Can you like proc Static Shift and then ult forwards in a team fight, proc it again with the Q and then Zonia's? Is that like the burst idea?
I mean, I don't think you can like proc it twice instantly, but like just I think Kai'Sa AP is like really good. They made some changes, like they buffed the passive, and then like they buffed the Nashor too. And then right now Statics makes like AP champ good because you have actually wave clear.
Yeah.
Like you just auto Q the wave and then there is no wave.
Yeah.
And I just think the champ is really good. It's even better on new patch, right?
Yeah.
But so that's kind of something like we realized. Like we didn't play this in scrim at all.
The Kai'Sa didn't play it in scrims?
No, I didn't play it.
You didn't play it in scrims at all?
I didn't. I played so much in solo queue that I just came, okay, today I mind control my coaching staff a bit.
Yeah. You're just like, guys, I promise, it's so good here.
To pick Kai'Sa. So I'm really happy because like I'm a bit one-trick Kai'Sa when I play AD.
Yeah.
And I like to play AD, so I just had to play it, and then I'm really happy that I could win with it.
Is there any more Static Shift champs cooking up? You know, we've seen Kai'Sa LeBlanc. How far does this item go? You have to say champion names, but is there more?
Yeah, I think I'm cooking a lot in solo queue, and there is like way more than only these two champs.
Oh boy.
Is this a public account? Can we
there is
can we
public
spy
account.
on you?
But I think the beauty here is we've got 3 weeks of this patch. And it's not like Static Shift's going to go anywhere for the next 3 weeks. So if you can cook something up, that's huge.
I mean, it's static shift, so it got like it's buffed on live patch, right? But like we see, it's still playable on this patch. So I think there's maybe some champs that are not that good on the live on the LEC patch that are good on live patch, but you can still play something for sure.
Still viable.
Yeah, should we actually take a look at the post-game breakdown as well? Because I'd be interested to see how much damage you did in the end. We do not have it. We do have the draft though, so we can also talk through the thought process there. So were you always planning to play the Kai'Sa? Because I imagine you knew that Perkz was going to pick that LeBlanc as soon as it was left open.
Yeah, I mean, it's just our prior, right? We knew like yesterday they first pick LeBlanc, so if it will be open, they will just pick it, and as long as we'll have like good answer into it, we could like just get prior picks for it, and I think that's what we did, and we got the draft exactly like we wanted. I think it went pretty well until we like misplayed a bit. So it's like I think when draft went really well, game was really well. Like we misplayed. I don't feel like it was anything bad with the game. We just like we fucked up, and then we will just learn from it. And then I think the game today, at least from draft and gameplay, was pretty good.
Yeah, makes sense. And I think it's great to see you. I don't know how to describe. Maybe coming out of your comfort zone, coming out of your shell, being you again. You know, in Excel, it looked like you couldn't be yourself as much. Like maybe everything around you was falling apart. I know you had some struggles in the off season and such, and during the split, and then you went to the bench, and Abadaga came in, and everyone was like, "Where's the Vetheo from last year?" And then all of a sudden, you're back. Like this week has just been stellar with you and the team. How have you found such a quick shift around for you personally to just transition from what was like a train wreck to now your first place 3-0?
I mean, I think like when you go out from an atmosphere that is so bad, or at least that was that bad for me.
Yeah.
It's like literally I was in Berlin, right? And then I came back in Paris to my parents, and like 3 days after I felt like 10 times better. And I think like so stuff were going really bad, and I really felt like the only things that could help me was winning, because the only thing I was doing like is literally playing all day. And then when you keep losing, it's just like it stuck up to you.
Yeah.
And then so we couldn't win, and then at one point it was a lot for me. And I think so I think just I came back home, I took some time, keep playing obviously, but I took some time for myself, and just I think my ambitions and my goals are still the same. I just needed a way better environment, and I think I learned from it. I learned like what I need to do to perform, really what I want from a team, and what I need, and that's I think what I found for now on Heretics. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, I mean, also I think it's so easy to forget that you were doing so well in Misfits, and then the rug was pulled under you last year as well. And then, of course, you come into Excel, things don't go the way you hope they'll go, and now you've found yourself in Heretics. I think this is a really interesting meta, though, when we look at you as a player, Vetheo, because you can be a superstar, and at the moment, mids are kind of expected to be a facilitator. Obviously, you're getting to play the AD today. How do you feel, though, you're going to adapt to this particular meta within Heretics when it's so bot-focused?
I mean, I think the mid meta has been like this for a really long time, so I don't have that many issues. I think like Ari is probably one of my best champ right now, because I just played her so much. Like you just have to play the meta, but I think the biggest struggle I had in Excel is that, so I came from like, I feel 2 good years on Misfits. I feel like I improved so much, and I really, like, I didn't see myself like not playing to win, and not like, playing to win the trophy at the end. And like, I just like, my expectation was so high, and then I just felt like I think it was the hardest thing for me. And then I just like, I came here, right? So as you said, like, people expect probably less, and I still expect a lot from myself, but people expect less. And I would say maybe, I mean, I know it worked on Misfits, and I think just the Excel environment was not the best for me to really play for winning for now.
Yeah, it's almost like in Misfits, it was like fighting for worlds. Like that's the idea. And then in Excel, after weeks, it's just fighting for a win. Like that's all you're looking for. Your goals shift so much, but I think it's great to see you thriving now, even in the LCK. And there's some of their content, they were saying like the EU Chovy, you know, I think there's an overlap there. So I think your growth's great to see, and it's just nice to have Vetheo back.
Yes, it's so good. I think the thing with you, Vetheo, is we've always been saying this year how fantastic you are. It's just about unlocking that. When you signed up to Team Heretics, did you actually say to them what your expectations were before you signed on the dotted line and agreed to join?
I mean, I think I've always been clear, and people that like told to me knows what my expectations are. They didn't change the day I joined LEC, and it's still the same. So I think they just knew what my expectation will be if they sign me.
Yeah. Were you worried? Because Heretics didn't do too well last split. You know, they've been struggling this year as well. Were you worried that you'd come in and still, you know, be near the bottom of the table? Or do you actually think, like, I can make a change here?
I mean, I think I've done really good last year
Yeah.
on my teams, and I always felt like I was a player that made my team win at some point. And I think this year, like, were really good players on Heretics, and then they made like changes that they felt like were important for them. And I think a really important stuff is the coaching staff too. I think there is a really great coaching staff that helps me. So it like convinced me even more to just go. So I was like not really worried that it will be like last year for them. I was just know that it will be like misfit or better, because I just feel like it's same as last year, but we probably have a better roster than I did last year.
How are you finding things with Jankos?
I think it's really interesting, obviously, because like he's the most experienced guy in the LEC, and he has his own view of the game, and I think I have my own view too. And I try to discuss a lot with him about that. I think it's really important for us to like try to know how he wants to play the game, and that I can tell him what I want and what I expect from a jungler, so we can like just find a way to have the same point of view about the game, and then we just like want to, yeah. So I think if we just keep doing that, at one point we like be on the same page. It would be really good.
Do you remember what he said to you there when he grabbed your hand and like shook it and you both started laughing as soon as the game ended? Did he say, I knew the Kai'Sa was good, or like you're cheeky for picking that? Like he was laughing so hard when he grabbed your hand there.
Yeah, I don't listen to FLICKR. I don't know.
Oh, don't listen to FLICKR either. Just win the game.
So what do you expect from a jungler? What do you want from Jankos?
I mean, I think it's more about like how I play my lane, right? And how it needs like the resources that I call, like what it means, what I need, like in the moment, like if I need to push out like right now, or if I can like wait 30 seconds, like if he initiates camps or stuff like this, stuff about blue buff that I really fight, right? Like.
But now you get it for free.
Yeah, but not first one, right?
Oh, not the first one. He needs to finish his jungle item, so you have to fight for the first one still. Okay, fair enough.
So like, but it's just even like, oh, I want to play side lane. I think there's a lot of stuff that I think that my jungler should give, and like how he wants me to communicate to help him, and that's really something we have to keep working on, because I think we're like for sure not perfect on our synergy, but I think we're getting like better for sure, so it's really good.
Yeah, it's nice. I feel like you're like this sponge, you know? You've got Jankos next to you, you've got Evie next to you, you've got this coaching staff. FLICKR won a split last with G2 as well, so I think there's just a lot to take in, and you can just focus on yourself.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's only my third year, right? I'm still 20, so I'm not that that old.
Not like Jankos. 45.
Yeah, I'm not like 57 yet, so I think I still have a lot to learn, and I'm still like on my first years on the LEC, so yeah, I'm not that worried. And if I can learn from the best jungler that EU has ever had, I can learn a lot from it. It will like for sure make me a way better player at the end.
You mean the guy you're sat next to, right? He's teaching you stuff.
Yeah,
He's only the best mid laner. That's you.
I'm the best mid laner. Oh God, what can I say? I think we can wrap this up now. That's great. No, we can just leave it at that. Can we just cut them? I'm kidding.
Should we take a look at the standings then?
Yeah, let's look at the standings, because you guys are 3-0. That's crazy. You guys and Matt are undefeated, top of the table. And when you've only got 3 weeks and you've got these best of ones, I think that's such a comfortable position to be in. But would you say your strength of schedule is only going to get a bit harder?
I mean, for sure the schedule will be harder, because like we didn't play, for example, any teams from the top 4, right? Yet, but I think like the most important is, I mean, I'm not that focused on best of 1, right? I just think we need to grow as a team and be ready for best of 3 and best of 5. And yeah, I just think we need to improve. I think we show good things this weekend and bad things too, that we will just go on for this week of stream and work on it. And if we can like improve every week like we did in the bootcamp, I think it can be really good, yeah.
Yeah, you clearly contended with some stressful situations even today in the Rift. So clearly that synergy is definitely building at the moment. Hopefully we can actually take a look at who you'll be playing next week. The schedule should be confirmed by now. So you are going to be playing on the Friday.
Ooh, XL.
XL.
What do you think of that game?
Yeah, I will
Oh,
play my
this is the
my
Saturday,
whole life
sorry.
on this.
Yep.
You're going to put your whole life on
Yeah,
that?
yeah, probably.
I'm gone back to 2022 on the Friday. I'm sorry. That's
On the
actually
Saturday,
when I fly
yeah.
out here on the Saturday.
No,
Sorry.
that'll be a good game. Heretics XL, Vetheo can, get
Yeah.
it personal with them, get the revenge, keep the win streak going. I'm not sure what the schedule is going forwards in the week, but yeah, you've still got the top teams to play against. So there's still a lot of work to do and a lot of things, because I feel like sometimes your games get a bit too messy at times. The first game you played, this splits with the whole Nexus thing and, making sure you end. And then this game was just you fell behind. So yeah, a lot to clean up. How do you think EU as a whole is doing? Because a lot of people, I've heard a lot of interviews where everyone's saying we're disgusting, the region's disgusting. Whoever comes to the day and plays the least worst is going to win. Do you have a similar sentiment? Is everyone just kind of griefing right now?
I mean, I will say I don't think EU is really good right now, but I think EU has good players at least.
Yeah.
I think just they need to make it work within the team and like just get like just if everyone plays good, but I feel like even like individual performance are so like there's so many up and downs
50-50 on the day.
that it means like even if the good players don't play always good, that it's just hard and I think. I mean, maybe for Worlds it will be better, right? I hope so, at least that EU will show better than in MSI or just like the regular season. I think just we need some time, and I think teams like don't often get really take that seriously, like best of ones too. So I don't know if
True.
it helps.
Are you saying that you're taking them more seriously than everyone else right now? That's why you're 3-0.
I mean, I think I went from like 10th place and Heretics from 9. So for sure, like we won't disrespect. Best
Yeah,
of
no,
one.
they definitely got to take it seriously.
No, well, clearly, every game counts, clearly, because everyone's fighting now for a place in the season finals. If you don't make the season finals, you don't make Worlds.
Yeah.
But given that Heretics, even without you, did make it to groups last time, now surely they're going to make it to playoffs. It's just a staircase.
Yeah, it's just a staircase. You don't have that many points, I believe, so there's definitely a lot of work to be doing to get into the top 6 in the first place. Like your placement this split, I don't know the exact number, it's probably going to have to be like top 3 minimum, I presume, with things going in your favor if you don't win the entire split. But do you feel that pressure? You have like these 3 weeks, then 2 weeks of best threes, that's it. And if you don't win there, then mid-July, that's it for the rest of the year.
I mean, sure, but at the same time, I feel like if we want to make it to Worlds, we have to be like top 3 in EU anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't really matter how much we end. Anyway, I'm aiming to like I'm not aiming to finishing like top 4, top 5. I don't really care about this. So like maybe like the time add some pressure because like we are late compared to the other team that didn't make change, right? And we have to get to their level like really fast. But like the result, like we have to make like top 3 and not top 5. I don't really mind.
You just grind it out.
Yeah, well, Vetheo, on Sunday, you're going to be part of our match of the week because it's going to be Heretics versus Koi. That's definitely going to be an interesting one. How do you feel about that mid lane matchup versus Larson?
I mean, obviously Larson is here for like since I joined LEC, but I think he's like a good millionaire. He played good this weekend, I think.
You played Static Shivari.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, I think Ari is so good without static that you probably don't need. But like compared to like some champs like LeBlanc that are not that good without static, but Ari is very good without it. But yeah, I think I enjoy playing against good players in LEC, and Larson is one of them. So I'm just happy to play. Yeah.
You didn't build static on Ari yesterday, did you?
No, I didn't.
Would you consider doing it in the future?
No, I don't.
Ooh, tip of advice for Larson then. Stay away from the static Ari.
Yeah, maybe we just ban out. No one's going to ban out Ari, are they? There's too many things you need to ban right now.
Yeah, there is so many OPs. But I'm excited for the static Shiv tech. We talk about it a lot these days. Nico and static Shiv are like the talking points of the news of the LEC right now. But I feel like now that we've seen LeBlanc, now we've seen Kai'Sa, I'm going to look at your solo queue, and I'm going to keep a microscope on that. So watch out what you play in solo queue, because I feel like other teams might have a look as well.
His eyes are on you. You know what? We've got to go. But before we go, actually, Nico, thoughts?
Okay, actually, like this champ is so unfair in lane. So yesterday I played against Nico, right?
Yeah.
And I juke his first 3 Q in lane. So like I even like was thinking about calling, okay, guys, he's choking, he missed his first 3 Qs,
Yeah.
and then I got absolutely destroyed for the whole laning phase until like 10 minutes, where like I TP bot and give kills, but it's really not fair. Like when you watch, and so yesterday I said, okay, maybe I'm hinting.
And then you saw caps.
And then I saw it caps. I said, okay, okay, guys, I was fine. I was actually only 15 CS behind, so I was actually chilling.
That's a good end of the matchup.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot to learn from the way that Caps played Nico, good and bad. Unfortunately, though, that was all from us here in week 1 of summer, if I can string a sentence together. There was so much action and so many games that, to be honest, I've lost the ability to speak. I lost the ability to speak on Saturday, let's be honest. We've got to do a selfie.
Yeah, let's do a selfie.
So yeah, I'll say goodbye to you guys because I forgot to do that last night. Tell no one. And
I'll go over here.
Let's take this picture. When did you last take one of these, Vetheo?
When was the last time you were on PGL? You don't need the mic. Oh yeah, you need the mic to talk
Yeah,
to
I think I
See, he's done it. He's clearly done it before.
I mean, it was on Misfit, so probably last year.
Oh, hang on. I'm literally.
You got this?
I'm squats for selfies. There we go. Happy?
Nice.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Got my
Love it.
approval. Amazing. Thank
Week
you so
1 done.
much. Good to have you back. Week 1 done. We'll see you next time.
Classic just asked me, what is the color of your underwear?
What is the color of your underwear?
Well, I said pink, but I was lying.
That's a lie.
And he trusted
Are
me.
we ready, boys? So we can fight you, exhaust.
Yeah, I like it.
Diego, here's flash,
Yeah, I need flash boss. Okay,
exhaust. Kill any, guys, kill any.
5 members of SK, they continue to push forward. The Moonlight Vigil, super mega death rocket, will find his man.
Think it's in? I'll catch the Jinx, I shield you. Nice. I stun too.
This is nice.
For the FLICKR to make sure they have total vision. Denial, that hook still connects. A little bit of extra extension on that end. Adam in a position to contest. Oh, from Jong-un! This guy just doesn't miss. Who's that mid laner? It's LECR. You go for it, last breath. Under the tower, Nuke's just gonna fall. LECR still has the flash to get away.
Not good.
I have Kazi, it's a vice. We can win.
Asante flashed. Good Karzi. Holy fuck. This is it. Oh. This is Dr. Karzi on the beat, boys.
Oh my god, what the
Get back to safety, pulled backwards by Shigenda. He's got the damage for the second solo kill and flashes away from the cart.
Okay, guys. I'm on the... Go. Just flash.
I got him.
We win this, by the way.
Yan cat. Amazing.
No.
Yeah. Nice.
Baby!
Nice. That's an ace. Good job.
They're looking to enter. Okay,
Nice.
Waiting for the killer instinct, that's going forward. Vitality have lost perks as well.
Need to get in position. He comes out, double flash. Oh wait, the stun missed.